Welcome to Storytime with Sugar. Today we're reading Prancing, Dancing Lily. Come on in, Rose. Milking time, Farmer Gibson called across the pasture. Clang-a-lang, clang-a-lang. All the cows fell in behind Rose, except for Lily. Prancing, dancing Lily. Stop zigzagging through the line, Lily, said Violet. You're making us dizzy. Ow, yelled Daisy. Watch those high-kicking hooves. Lily skipped to the pond and swirled around the willow tree. That Lily is all over the pasture, said Marigold. When she's bell cow, it will take us all night to get to the barn. She'll never be able to lead the line, said Violet. She can't even stay in line. Lily pretended not to hear, but she couldn't help thinking that they were right. Lily's grandmoo Iris had led the most orderly cow lines in Wisconsin, and Lily's mammoo Rose always won best bell cow at the state fair. Soon it would be Lily's turn to lead the herd, but whenever she was around, there was confusion on the cow trail. Sometimes in the world there must be a place for a dancing bell cow, said Lily as she stared beyond the fence post. Just then a gust of wind blew a magazine into the pasture. On every page there was prancing and dancing. Quickly, Lily made her decision. She left a note for Mammoo on the willow tree. My dear Mammoo, and the herd too, I'm off to find a place for me and a dance that fits me perfectly. Now please don't worry, don't be blue. At every stop I'll write to you, Lily. Lily pranced and danced down Farmer Gibson's driveway, then on to County Road 14. Across the valley, she heard tail-whisking music spilling out of a big red barn. As the fiddle zinged and the caller called, Lily joined the sachet, but she circled right when she should have circled left. Recovering on a bale of hay, Lily borrowed some paper and a pen. My dear Mammoo, and the herd too. I dosey-doed, I spun the top, and then I did the belly flop. The square dancing is quite a whirl, but maybe I'm a city girl, Lily. Lily traveled the back roads until she reached New York City. Prancing and dancing past Rockefeller Center, she saw an audition sign outside Radio City Music Hall. We have a camel and hundreds of Santas, but we've never had a dancing cow. How spectacular, said the director. But on opening night, Lily kicked her hooves so high they got tangled in the Christmas tree lights. She exited early, twinkling all the way to the Empire State Building. At the Big Apple Cafe, she sent a postcard home. My dear Mammoo, and the herd too. I kicked my hooves with so much flair the lights and tree fell everywhere. Instead of cheers, I heard loud boos. I think I need an ocean cruise, Lily. Lily boarded the Holiday Happiness cruise ship the very next day. Talia, the lead tap dancer, invited Lily to join the dance troupe. Your hooves make perfect little tap shoes, she said. But at the captain's dinner that night, Lily tip-tap-tripped right into the chocolate mousse. After a hot bath, Lily wrote a letter on the ship's stationery. My dear Mammoo, and the herd too. I paddle rolled and shuffle hopped. I tapped so hard I couldn't stop. I scraped my nose. I skinned my knee. I don't think cruising is for me, Lily. When the Holiday Happiness reached shore, everyone wished Lily well. Keep searching, Lily, said Talia. I'm sure you'll find a place just right for you. Around the world, Lily danced. She stamped a fiery flamenco in Spain, swayed on stilts in Senegal, flew at the ballet in Russia, and swung her hips to the belly dance in Turkey. Finally, Lily arrived on a small island in the Caribbean. She looked across the water and thought of Farmer Gibson's pond. Then she faxed a message home. My dear Mammoo, and the herd too. My hooves have never been so sore. Can't find the place I'm looking for. I miss the herd. I miss the bell. Some days I'm sad. I said farewell, Lily. As Lily sat with her head in her hooves, she heard drumming in the distance. Boom, 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 boom. Winding through the street was the longest line she had ever seen. Come join our conga, someone shouted to Lily. Lily took her place behind the last person in line. Then someone danced up behind her. Everyone pranced and danced. They zigzagged this way and that way, following the lead of the drummer. But it was always a perfect line. Back home, we lead lines with a bell, Lily told her new friend Ricardo. There are lots of ways to lead a line. We like a conga drum. They ended up at Ricardo's home, where everyone was invited to stay for dinner. Lily borrowed Ricardo's computer to write an exuberant email home. My dear Mammoo, and the herd too. Guess what? I know the place for me and a dance that fits us perfectly. We'll dance a line with drum and bell. I'm coming home now. All is well, Lily. One bright morning, Lily came home drumming. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Mammy rose, and the whole herd trotted out to greet her. All day, Lily showed them how to prance and dance in a conga line. Everyone took turns being the drummer. Finally, Lily has a good idea, said Violet, drumming around the willow tree. We'll be the only drumming bell cows in Wisconsin, said Daisy. We'll be famous all the way to Minnesota, said Marigold. Come on in, Rose. Milking time, Farmer Gibson called across the pasture. Mammy Rose turned to Lily. I think Farmer Gibson is calling you, she said, placing her bell around Lily's neck. All the cows fell in behind Lily. Boom, 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 clang-a-lang. Boom, 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 clang-a-lang. And together they pranced and danced back to the barn. To my friends, both near and far, you all were kind to take a chance and let me join your special dance. I wish that you could see me now, the prancing, dancing conga cow, Lily.